So in this video, we're going to begin with the example problem. Then I'd like you to move on to the graspable math activity and complete it, and then return once you've done with that activity to complete the 3 problems at the bottom of page 2. When solving a square root equation, keep in mind order of operations is critical. So in this problem, for example, if I was to replace x with a number, and let's say that number would be 22 minus 6 minus 10 equals some number. If I was going to simplify the left side, I would do the subtraction problem first. That would be the minus 6. That gives you the square root of 16 minus 10. Then I do the square root second, so I get 4 minus 10. And then I would do the subtract 10 problem last, which gives me a negative 6 answer. So I know the answer for this problem is going to be real close to 22, since I'm supposed to get the answer of negative 5, and this one I actually ended up with negative 6. So the reason why I went through the order with you is because when solving an equation, generally we just reverse that order. And most of the problems in Algebra 1 and Algebra 2, knowing the order of operations, the way you'd simplify the problem if x is replaced with a number, just take that order and reverse it. So we're going to begin with by adding the 10 to both sides. This is where I'm going to stop. And I'd like you to go ahead and simplify the problem and using the reverse order of operations, and then turn the video back on when you're finished. So if I add 10 to both sides, I get the square root of x minus 6 equals positive 5. And then we're going to square both sides to undo the square root problem. So that would leave you with just the x minus 6 and 25 on the right side. And then to finish the problem off, we need to add 6 to both sides to undo the subtraction problem. 6 minus 6 is the 0. So x ends up being 31. To check the problem, we would replace x with 31, so it becomes 31 minus 6 and minus 10. And we're checking to see if we get a final answer of negative 5. So subtraction problem first, followed by the square root problem second, and then the subtraction problem last to see if we get a negative 5, which we do. So 31 would be the correct answer for this problem. So I'd like you to move on to the graspable math activity. Think about if we're going to replace the x with a number and simplify it, what would be the order to simplify it? And then that order we're going to reverse to solve the equation. Make sure you watch the first video in the activity, because it shows you a new trick in how to square both sides. So when we're doing square root problems, we're going to square both sides at some point to get rid of the square root. And so there's a really neat and quick way of doing that. So make sure you watch the video. When you're done with the graspable math activity, come back and see if you can do the 3 problems here at the bottom of page 2.